Hey beautiful humans, it is Ros Loxon here and it's Wisdom of the Oracle Wednesday, even though I'm doing it on Thursday. But I'm sticking with Wisdom of the Oracle Wednesday, which spells woo. So I'm bringing you a message from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, which was created by Colette Baron Reed, who I highly revere. I think she is the real deal. I'm not a clairvoyant, but I am very intuitive, and I feel like I am good at interpreting the essence of the meanings in these cards in relation to how we are all individuals as a part of a larger collective. So for all of us, in some way, we're all going through the same things together, although we've got our own independent little satellite lives that are forming a part of the whole. And so how today's message is interpreted through your tiny or your satellite life compared to how today's message is interpreted through my satellite life is not separate from what we are all going through together as a collective. So my intention for bringing these Wisdom of the Oracle Wednesday to you is to share some support, is to bring my intention of wanting to support people to navigate their thinking and their feelings and their outcomes. For some of us, we're not as attached to our bodies and we're not as attached to our essence of our heart and soul. And so sometimes we put too much emphasis on what our mind and our brain can come up with and how to sort everything out in the outside world, how to line up all your ducks out in the outside world to try and make sure that you feel okay. And feeling okay is about lining up your internal ducks and knowing how to navigate our internal world. And unfortunately, in our Western civilization, education and culture, we do not know how to do that. We talk about mental health, and mental health is a fast. I'm so passionate about the fact that mental health is a diminished way of looking at what a human being is. So yes, I care about your mental health, but I care about how you understand all the other healths, okay, in your whole biology. How to understand the spirit of your own heart, how to understand the spirit of your own values, how to understand the spirit of your own, I guess, purpose. You know, you got your own genius and things that you can bring to this world that are natural to you or that you feel quite inspired about. And a lot of people can't I guess get a read or a temperature check on the essence of all of those parts of themselves, and we go up here, we rely on all of our mind to do all the work, and quite frankly the mind is one part of the puzzle. We put too much emphasis on that, and whoa, it's too much. It's just too much. So we start malfunctioning, and then we start getting diagnosed with things and medicated for those things, and we're missing the point. What we're not doing is aligning and integrating our fullness, and I blame that on our Western culture as a part of why we're not wise enough as to how to work our entire system. So today's message is, the intention is, what is it that as a collective is affecting all of us, and as individuals that what can we take from today's card? What challenge can you bring into today's container? I call these readings a container. It's like we're in a bubble, a container, and the information and the things that I invite into the container and the energy and the atmosphere that I set for the container is all inside the container, and I'm inviting you into the container and to bring with you a sense of a question or a challenge or something that you're navigating at the moment. And the intention is that the message that comes out today, how can you take the essence of that message and apply it to your current challenge or your current situation that you're navigating. And therefore we're all going to sort of take a different part of the message away depending on what you are navigating and what your specific unique challenge is that you're bringing into today's container. But as I said, all of us are a collective, and at some point we're all experiencing the same thing at the same time with our individual lives, you know, so we all feel it slightly differently. Some of us are quite optimistic and hopeful, and others of us are quite highly anxious and fearful and not hopeful and pessimistic perhaps. And so my heart goes out to those folk. It doesn't have to be like that for you. That makes life very hard, very, very hard. So, no further ado, my full open-hearted intention is to bring relief, to bring some sort of message that will open up another window for you, create another little insight or breakthrough for you to help you get either unstuck or to feel a sense of insight or aha, something that is helpful to you somehow, you know. Okay, so I like to bring these messages to you every Wednesday. As I said, today's a Thursday, but that's okay. It is Thursday the 18th of July. Now, for this container, I do invite protection, that this container is protected energetically for the entire life of this container, that it's protected against any negative sabotaging energies, that this container be only benevolent, only helpful, only loving. And sometimes there's a little bit of tough love, you know, sometimes we do need some tough love, but that doesn't mean it's not coming from a place of love. Just needed to earmark that. And I also like to invite energy from ancestors, from our past loved ones, from divine support, however that comes, and people use all sorts of words for that, whether it's their specific guides or whether you like to use angels. I just ask for divine support because I really don't understand how everything works. I've got theories and ideas, but I don't like to project my beliefs onto anybody. I like to keep this as I guess as open as possible, so that anyone from any culture and belief system can feel the love and support in this container. And so I would like to just pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the land that I am on, to elders past, present and emerging, and I am on going country in the north of Queensland. So today, what is a message that is appropriate for those that will be finding this container, finding this message, finding this support? What is a message that would be super, I guess, relevant and helpful for the season that we're in, for the part of the season that we're in, and what's going on globally and what's going on individually for us? What would be a message that would be super helpful today? And look, I'm just going to keep shuffling because I do like to take the jumpers, the ones that seem to want to jump out and make themselves known. But yes, please make the card obvious to me. Please make the message for today clear and precise and super helpful for those that will be tuning into this container. Okay, oh, there we go. That one flipped over. So it was in protective position, which means it's upside down. So the card was come to the edge. And it was like this. I'm going to read the whole message, the essence of the message and the meaning of the message. And then at the end, I'll also share with what does the protection message say, so that we can get a holistic sort of taste of what the message is in this card. Knowing that I like to keep it as open and general as possible, but this card has its own essence. And so we're going to try and really lean into the essence of this message. So it's number 36. Number 36. And the message is, Come to the edge. The essential meaning is courage. It's time for courage. Taking a leap of faith. Overcoming fear and accepting risk. Easier for some than others. I like to, and I have been mentioning more and more about the power of understanding your blueprint, your human design map. And some of us are more wired to take risks than others. So yes, it can be more difficult for others, but once you understand your human design, once you understand why you might be more, what's the word I'm looking for, have more potential to have anxiety or to have fear and to let that sort of stop you from taking risk. Once you understand your blueprint and your map, then it becomes more empowering for you to navigate that and it not just hijack you all the time. So the Oracle's message is facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. If we don't progress, we actually regress, because life keeps moving forward, life keeps evolving and changing, and we have to pivot and navigate and progress with it. And if we stay too stuck, too staid, and we're not keeping up in ways, and we're not refreshing ourselves and renewing ourselves, letting go of dead wood, building new green, shoots in our mind, in our heart, in our understanding, in our beliefs, all the ways, if we don't keep renewing ourselves, we actually regress, and then it gets really, really hard. All our isms, all our little glitchy things, like if you got, a diagnosis of ADHD or on the spectrum somewhere, all those little isms that we can carry but, still function with, they will tend to become more heightened and a stronger part of what shows up for us if we don't keep renewing and refreshing along with the speed of the world and how it's progressing. It's okay to be afraid, okay? Now's the time to take a risk that is not so calculated. Easier for some. Some people are far more calculated, and there's a part of your human design, but we don't want it to hold you back. We don't want your superpower to start to implode your capacities. Feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You might need help with that, okay? I don't recommend that you just go running off and doing things that are not completely unmeasured. But if they feel really unmeasured, I would get support before you just go and jump, and do something that seems really radical and really unmeasured. It might be different for you. It might be a really, step right or a step left. And I would say if it feels really fearful, please get someone that you can run the information through to be another voice of wisdom, Listen to your heart and soul, not just your head. I spoke about that at the beginning. Come to the edge and discover that you actually can fly. And I don't mean that literally. Don't go to a cliff and jump off, because you don't have the real dragon wings. We're talking about flying in a sense of not holding yourself back from changing your life and going in new directions, meeting new people, going into new careers or new places to live, Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. And miracles, let's not use that word too literally either. Miracles are things that seem quite magical, and there's a lot of magical things we can experience if we just let ourselves follow the intuition of our unique design and not just stay stuck in what feels like our safe rocking chair and our safe little routines. And when you let yourself break out of that and try something new, where you might be embarrassed because it doesn't work, or it might not work the first time and you feel like, the optic on it is a bit embarrassing. Beyond that, the feelings of doing something new and achieving something different are magical, okay? They do feel like miracles. So the relationship message, it's scary to be truly intimate with someone, to allow him or her to see all of you. I can say this because often people don't know what all of themselves is. People don't know themselves. People do not know themselves. Okay, there's so much about yourself that you just don't know, you don't understand. And of course, when you go out navigating life with, you know, this entire amazing contraption and you don't really understand totally how it all works, then you're gonna struggle to kind of really connect in those relationships in a way that's healthy and not codependent, and all the things that are not, fully, wholeheartedly healthy and right for you. You can start to, find things in people that fill a hole in a part of your needs, and that hole can only be filled by your own self-awareness of how you really operate. So we're looking to be filling the holes in our self-knowledge with other people, and it's not their responsibility to fill the holes in our self-awareness. And this is why we come undone in those relationships. So now's the time to take the risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. I say, please do the work on understanding what you truly are so that you know what people are truly seeing, to be truly seen. Often we will hide ourselves and put masks on because we don't even really know who we really are. It's important that you speak up, to voice what you need, and to state who you are, and to say what you hope for. Of course, all of that's really difficult if you don't have a strong connection to who you really are. Who you think you are is not always who you actually really are. This is not a time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You will be glad that you did. If you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step toward the gods and they will deliver what you truly desire. Now, I think a part of that is that relationships there's the people come into your life for a lifetime, a reason or a season. So then everyone's not meant to be there forever. Sometimes we are our learning lily pads. We bring out a learning, and that's all that's going to happen in that relationship. And we have to thank each relationship for what we learn from it. And so if we're throwing mud on someone, or if we're blaming them for something, or we're sort of stabbing them with our words because they were this and they were that, there's something about what you brought to that relationship. There's something you can learn from that you have to thank them for, That's another whole discussion, and it's a very spiritually deep, healing way of living life. The prosperity message is, if ever there was a time for you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, it's now. This is the perfect moment to take a big risk. I am putting caveat and a little side note on that I don't want you to just run off and take risks that are not completely unmeasured. This would be something that you feel like is a truth for you. Some part of your bones and your cells and your heart and soul and spirit knows that that's the direction for you to go in. Even if you're going to fall over and fail, that somehow I still need to go in that direction. But you're scared, it's not what I normally do, and what if I do fall over and people see me, So I'm cautiously saying just run and take big risks. I think the risk is that something is different, and if you're going to hang on and stay in a job for too long, or hang on and stay in a relationship for too long, or stay doing anything that's outdated for too long, that it feels really risky and edgy to go, just going to wrap that business up, just going to wrap that relationship up, and I'm going to never, just journey off into this other direction. I'm going to jump into this other job, or jump into this other relationship, or whatever it is. It feels really edgy and risky if you've hung around to a lot, probably past the use by date of some other situation that you've been in. And if it feels really risky, I still advise getting counsel from a role model, or a mentor, or somebody that you trust their counsel. The unknown is the only choice right now, and if you come to the edge, you will discover treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Allow your courage to lead you. Allow your courage to lead you. Allow your courage to lead you. In spite of your fears, You don't need to know the exact form of what you're going for. The essence is much more powerful. The essence is much more powerful. The Spirit has a way of delivering an even better version of prosperity than you could ever imagine. Take that step, the results will be amazing. Now I'm going to read the protection message, but I just want to clarify, sometimes we have to lose everything to gain everything. Sometimes the block to our miracles and the block to our freedoms and all of that magic that this card's talking about is behind something we're clinging to. You know, we'll fight really hard not to lose our house, or we'll fight really hard not to lose some of the things that we've got really strong attachments to. But those things are the block to what happens behind it. If it's like a wall, you know, I can't lose this, or I can't lose that. I'm so attached to how that part of life is, and really trying to keep it there and going against nature's flow, means that what happens on the other side of surrendering to letting that thing fall away, what's on the other side of that we could never imagine, because we've spent all of our RAM on focusing on hanging on to that one thing. There's always another story for us. There's always another way of life and other people to meet and other things that will show up, especially if we are people that set goals and have intentions for goodness in our life. Know how you want to feel, know what you want to be experiencing, but then let that come to you in any way. You know, it doesn't have to be a big white house with 3 stories and a white picket fence and 2 dogs. You know, it doesn't have to be that. It has to be a way to feel connected to community, to have some certainty, to be involved with animals, you know, and there's what does it feel like, the essence of your goals, as opposed to hard-edged, it's got to come in these forms of what I'm attached to. So I hope that makes sense. Now the protection message is, fear is leading the way into places that you don't need to go. Most of what you fear at the moment is an illusion stemming from an old belief that isn't even true, or maybe not true anymore. Now is a time for courage. Courage, you know, you might have to flesh that out for you. How do you do courage? How do you tap into it? How do you take the lid off it? You will not be lost at sea. You will not watch everyone else get what you want while you're left alone and unloved. Oh, the drama of it all. False evidence appearing real, fear, right? False evidence appearing real is hovering over you. The more you dwell on fear, the more real it will become. What we focus on, you know, because we're so busy focusing on that all the other things around us are not in sight. You know, we really focus in on something and then all the other stuff that's happening isn't getting a chance to affect us and touch us and bring its magic to us. We're blocked off to it because we're focusing too much on one thing. And if that's fear, whew, nasty. Ask yourself, who in me is afraid? Love that part of you. Ask, is this true and real right now? You know, the fear. Is it real and true? The answer most likely is going to be no. Give yourself a hug. It's okay to be scared. Courage must be summoned. In spite of your fear, even when you're not feeling confident, Spirit will always catch you. There's a lot of dissociation happening that I'm picking up on, and especially with men, not necessarily only with men, because I work with women a lot. I'm not really tuning into men when it comes to healing and self-work and, you know, expansion and tapping into all mental wellness and emotional wellness and spiritual wellness and all the wellnesses, and how to balance it all so we can have a nice life despite the chaos that life brings. And I feel that there's been, you know, what I'm noticing is that a lot of men, but not just men, maybe women that are in their masculine, are dissociated from understanding the signs and symptoms that are in there, the signs that their body that our body will whisper, hello, I can't do that anymore, or hello, the body will whisper. But people who are in their masculine, and men are often in their masculine, not all the time, or women that are in their masculine, it's a penetrating, forcing energy where you're pushing forward to get things done. Perfect. We all need to have that. But if it's too much, then we're a bit detached from all those little, hello, I need you to start stretching more, or hello, I need you to stop eating bread and stop eating this, and to bring more protein this way into your, all the little nudges and things that your body's giving you. I need you to get glasses now because you're straining me too much by, looking, all the little nudges that our body is giving us. And when we're too much in our masculine, or we've got trauma, or whatever it is that makes us not notice ourselves, then we can come a cropper. And recently someone very close to me, who I think has got undiagnosed, let's say, ADHD as an adult. Heaps of people are coming through now as adults that have undiagnosed ADHD, and I think that's just a Western diagnosis. There's other ways that you can look at that as being an absolute superpower. But after a time, not understanding the nuances of that superpower, it can start to close in on you. It can start to, where it made you be able to do a lot of things and see a lot of things and bounce from one job to the other and push and do lots of things with your brain, the older you get, the less you can hold all of those activities that a very active brain is going to create. And so you can have anxiety attacks because your body can't hold what your mind is forcing it to do. So this whole self-love piece is super important, about being gentle with yourself, about loving the parts of all of the parts of you. So there's a lot there. There is a lot in that, and it's why I exist. It's why I do what I do. It's what the service I bring to the world is, how to help you navigate yourself so that you can have joy and bliss and peace and happiness in a world of chaos and, difficulty. How do you hold that internal space so that you can constantly navigate those challenges with a more harmonious, blissful, internal sense of self? I hope that helps. I wish you every encouragement, and sending you big love for your best self and your best life, and I will talk to you super soon. Bye for now.